Good evening all your citizens, welcome back to the City Insider channel. In this video, we'll find out the latest news about Manchester City FC. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss daily update. Oscar Bobb explains Man City return date plan. Manchester City will give Oscar Bobb as long as he needs to fully recover from his leg injury, even if it means he takes longer to return than initially planned. It would be entirely understandable if Bobb felt mightily frustrated to have fractured his leg the week before the start of the season after such sparkling form for City over the summer. Bobb was City's standout performer in their summer tour, and followed it up with an assist in the Community Shield against Manchester United at Wembley. But a freak injury in training before the Premier League opener at Chelsea has ruled Bobb out until the new year. Initial hopes were that Bobb could return in early January, although Pep Guardiola's latest update this week was that City expect the Norwegian back in January or February. City intentionally did not sign a replacement for Bobb with the plan for him to play an important role in the second half of the season. Bobb has now spoken for the first time about his injury and insisted he has been positive about the injury from the start, despite the wretched timing of the layoff. It's been just over 2 months now, and we knew it was a long injury, so I'm just focusing on getting a bit better every day and getting back, he told The National, suggesting he will take as long as is necessary to return in the best condition, even if it means a longer wait to be back on the pitch, not as soon as possible, but as strong as possible, he continued. It was unfortunate, but I didn't think of it as that bad just because I've seen loads of my friends get big injuries and a lot of them have come back stronger, so I thought of it more as a pause rather than a setback. First and foremost, my aim is getting back in good shape and then hopefully pushing on from that and getting even more games than I got last year and contributing even more, scoring goals, getting assists and playing in the important games. Zinchenko leaks Frosty Bernardo Silva text message. Some athletes will go to great lengths to help a former teammate even after they part ways, but Bernardo Silva isn't one of them. The Manchester City star spent 5 years sharing a dressing room with Alexander Zinchenko, with whom he won 4 Premier League titles, 4 Carabao Cups and 1 FA Cup. However, Zinchenko has revealed just how their relationship changed after he jumped ship to join Premier League rivals Arsenal in 2022. In an extract from Zinchenko's new autobiography, Believe, he explained how he reached out to his former teammate for advice during the summer. The Ukrainian was holidaying in southern France and contacted former Monaco midfielder Silva for tips on where to train in the area. But his old comrade was less than accommodating. I saw on Instagram that Bernardo Silva was there as well. I texted him, asking if he knew a pitch to do some exercises, read the passage. He wrote back saying, "For what? Do you need a pitch? I need to run," I replied. He wrote back, "Run? For what? You're going to try to win the Premier League again? Forget about it. Stay at home." Zinchenko, 27, went on to say he later showed City star Jeremy Doku exactly what his teammate had said, and the Belgian was left laughing his head off at just how cutthroat Silva was in his messages. Many fans will perhaps not be surprised that serial winner Silva isn't the kind to play nicely now that he and Zinchenko are technically enemies. The UEFA Nations League winner has clinched silverware wherever his career has taken him, being crowned league champion with Benfica and Monaco before excelling at the Etihad. That ruthless streak was on display once more when Silva taunted the Gunners in the wake of their 2-2 draw against City in September. Pep Guardiola's side snatched a share of the spoils in injury time after Arsenal, who have run City close in each of the last 2 Premier League seasons, played most of the match with 10 men. City star negotiating new deal with club. Erling Haaland has not asked to leave Manchester City and is already negotiating a renewal with the club. That's according to Marca, who say the Norwegian is insistent his future is at Manchester City, and sources close to the footballer are backing that up when asked. They and the player insist that Haaland has no intention of taking advantage of the current uncertainty at Manchester City as they battle 115 charges put on them by the Premier League. His current contract at the Etihad has a clause which will allow him to leave as and when he wants for around €70 million, although that figure is not valid for Premier League teams. But he has decided that moment will come later and not at this moment in time, while Manchester City are facing problems off of the pitch. When he does decide that he wants to depart remains to be seen, but it seems he has not intention of leveraging the current situation to his advantage. Of course, the release clause still exists and can be used, but it seems Haaland is now negotiating a new deal and has no intention of leaving Manchester City anytime soon. Portuguese talent regret over joining Manchester City. Felix Correa spent some time with the Manchester City youth sides after arriving from Sporting in the summer of 2019. After being loaned out to AZ Alkmaar for a season, the winger was sold permanently to Juventus. Even at the Bianconeri, the ex-City man never quite gained prominence and was sold to Gil Vicente in the summer. Now impressing in the Portuguese top flight, Correa has spoken to O Jogo. The left winger was asked whether he has regrets about leaving Sporting to join the Citizens. He said, "I would have stayed. But these are completely different times. There is a different focus, a different structure, which sees Sporting's future differently. Today, yes, I would have stayed." The 23-year-old was also asked about how he's matured since his time in England, and Correa revealed that he is a completely different person now. "My mindset was completely different and it helped me a lot to go abroad, live alone and have other experiences in my life, not just on the field. I think that was very important. In other words, I am a completely different Felix today." The Portuguese never played for City despite being in and around the squad multiple times. So far in this campaign, he has 3 goals and 2 assists in 8 league games for Gil Vicente, and his stature as a first-team player is now rising. Liverpool. Man City rejected by youngster. According to a fresh update from Bild chief Christian Falk, Brighton's unique appeal could help them get the better of Man City and Liverpool in the transfer market. Taking to X, Falk revealed all 3 clubs are interested in 17-year-old Red Star Belgrade midfielder Andrija Maksimovic, but per the reporter, the player and his camp are wary of joining Liverpool or Man City through fear those moves could be too big of a step to take at this stage in Maksimovic's career. As such, Brighton are now better placed to secure a deal expected to be worth roughly €15 million in total. Rather than Liverpool or City, Brighton's biggest competitor will be Bundesliga side Eintracht Frankfurt. Falk wrote, "Eintracht Frankfurt lead at the moment the race for a transfer of Andrija Maksimovic. The fee could be €12 million plus €3 million adds on." In the opinion of the Maksimovic side, Liverpool and Manchester City could be a too big step for the next station. But Brighton is also an option. Maksimovic has already racked up 2 caps for the Serbian national side and has started 2 of Red Star's 3 Champions League matches this season. The youngster has also caught the eye of Borussia Dortmund, another club heralded for developing rising stars. And that's the end of today's video. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss daily update from my channel.